Season kickstarts today. Numbers from banks will also be watched very closely. Udin Mukherjee caught up with Shekhar Sambhshivan of Invesco Asset Management as part of our ongoing series Asian Tigers, and he believes that banks are plagued with capital and NPA issues and there is no evident solution in sight anytime soon. Listen in.
Look at last 3 years, we had a lot of issues related to macro across the region, specifically in India also. Beginning of the year, earnings, whatever consensus have estimates, has to be tapered down meaningfully. Despite that, market have done well, in the hope that earnings story will continue to someday catch up. This year, I think things seems to be slightly better off, at least to begin with. We hope that at least the second half should start giving us higher than better earnings growth. So market somehow is pricing in a little bit of earnings growth from next 2 years from now. Hopefully it should now coming. That's the last cog missing in the whole story. Right now we are talking about merging of large public sector banks to tide over this issue of NPA. But the problem remains how we're going to capitalize these banks, even if you are gaining some synergies out of that. Another thing, how we look at it is simply like that 70% of the market share of the banking in terms of advances is the public sector banks. And 30% is the balance private banks. But if you look at the profitability, it's the other way around. And nowhere across the globe these type of dichotomy exist. So to me, I think the market share loss from public sector banks will continue, and private sector banks will continue to gain market share in the next couple of years also.